Yes, we part of an organisation where we're head directors of an organisation called Pickup Academy Limited.
Yeah.
That is obviously the parent company. But under it, we run a football academy, largely based on education. However, as you do know, the boys and girls now that we do have under our jurisdiction are there for the football.
Of course.
That's what sells, really, But it's good because it keeps them in education, keeps them wanting more, aspiring to more. And, the opportunities and the platform that we provide for them allows them to aspire and look at those things that they put in place, or their ambitions, as you would say, and, we'll help them step by step with those short-term goals. Eventually, they can end up with their long-term goal, and if that's being a professional footballer, either as a female or as a male, or even just getting into further education, whether it be university or apprenticeships, we're just getting into work in the sporting field, and that's great as long as we can provide that. We're doing our job. So that's, in a nutshell, that's what we do at Pickup Academy.
Myself and George were coming from a football background, but back in our day, we felt that we were limited in terms of opportunities provided to us. Like George had a chance at West Ham, but because he didn't have the I don't know how to word this, because he didn't have anyone to push him to get to that, let's say, to that level. Yeah, both of us, we could have been footballers. We could have been anything we wanted to be. And looking back on our lives and whatnot, we feel we owe it to the young people to give them an opportunity where we provide this platform where they can excel to the best of their ability. So, yeah, that's how we linked up. We've been friends from the age of probably like 5 years old, and we've basically gone through like the majority of our lives together. So providing this opportunity was only natural progression in terms of helping the people younger than us and whatnot.
Well, it's, I'd say, saturated at the moment. What makes us different? I think this is kind of doubling up on what Michael said. However, I believe we bridge the gap because
we care.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Main thing is age. I know age is nothing, like they say, it's nothing but a number. If you're qualified and you're able to help someone, then that's cool. But I look at it as we're still relatively young. We still know what's going on, as they say, in the neighborhoods, in the streets, in the blocks, in general play anyway. And I feel that these kids are able to generally look at us and look up to us and have conversations, just have a general conversation. I can't count how many times after class, during class, quiet time, during training, after training, some of the boys would just sit down and literally just have a chat. We'd be sitting there for 45 minutes, just having a general chat, whether it be a serious conversation about things that they could do to improve where they've gone wrong, and where we believe, there's places to build on, or it should be just literally just banter, and I believe that is where we are different from the rest, because a lot of these other academies have older statesmen involved in it. Yes, don't get me wrong, fantastic coaching, infrastructure, facilities at different clubs as well. However, it's just that connection with that boy that's at home, that's had a bad game on a Wednesday afternoon, thinking about it, comes in on a Thursday, but doesn't have the courage to walk up to his coach and say, "Coach, what could I have done better yesterday? Like, I know you was getting on to me," but a lot of them don't, and they'll just take it on the chin, not knowing that it's going to affect them maybe in the next game or the next training session, or even, most importantly for us, in the classroom. I think it is something that anyone can do. However, you would have to look at where you're at in terms of experience in coaching and influence. That's a key word there, because to start it up, you need to have boys that have faith and belief in you and what you do and what your philosophy is, and you know what you've got planned for them now, tomorrow, and next month, and the next month after that. Again, like I said, long term plan. So if you've got a number of boys that believe in it, we were lucky that we had a great core of good, talented 16, 17-year-old boys. And, you know, we went from August, which was September, was obviously our start date last year, 2017. Went from having like 12 students in August to 24 in late September. And that's because what we was doing with those core boys, whether they'll put it on their Instagrams, their Snapchats, you know how these young boys are with all these type of gadgets and social media and stuff like that. People were just tapping into it. People were leaving their colleges and coming over to our academy. And we ended up having a really, really strong squad. You know, eventually people were going to fall off, and that's how it is even in normal colleges. So we ended up with 19 by the end of the year. So we went from 24 to 19. One boy, I think, had to go back to Ireland, where he was originally from. So we don't really count it as a loss. But the other, let me do the maths properly. The other 4,
4 or 5.
yeah, the other 4, they just weren't at the level required in terms of what was needed in the classroom. So we had to take them out of the course. However, we did find a contingency plan for them and put them on a traineeship course, which gave them a qualification. It's not as big as the BTEC diploma. However, we wanted to make sure we kept them in education.
There was a period of time, I'm not sure whether it was Pick Up Academy has, all in all, we started in 2013. The whole dream of the actual, you know, giving people the opportunity to make it as professional footballers or whatever they would like to be. George gave me a phone call, as he always does, and he's shouting down the line about how the UK hasn't got any infrastructure in terms of education and allowing young people to go from education to football and to professional football. And that was back in 2013. I'm not sure if you remember this. You don't remember that, do you?
No.
Yeah. He was talking about how the Americans have it in America.
Yeah.
And
yes, I do.
You drew up a plan or whatever,
yeah.
and said that, we're going to do this one day and blah, 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 blah. And developing on from then, George and myself, we used to send players off to Gibraltar, where they would play professionally and gain their experience and then come back and whatnot. So through that, that's how the trust was built in terms of like players and what we could do for them and whatnot. So when the actual academy, the education part came into effect, it wasn't the easiest thing, but I wouldn't say it was the hardest thing. Like George had already gained a lot of people's trust in that aspect, so it's just grown from then. George has a real passion for football, and he has various qualifications in that field and experience. Like as he said before the interview, he had connections or experience working for Crystal Palace. Is it Wycombe Wanderers?
Yeah, Brentford.
Yeah, a lot of stuff that he did to build himself up, and he studied it at university. I studied media, content development and production, and I just have a passion for giving people opportunities. So our roles are split in the sense of he would handle the football, I would handle the media and anything else that needs to be handled. Like we both lift each other up if need be, and help each other out if need be.
Yeah, it's more when it comes to it, the football side. Yes, like that's me all over. Like I'll make sure that I'm spearheading whatever we're doing. The targets, the values, what we want to achieve. But obviously, it's not just me, myself, and Mike. Obviously, we're at the top there. However, we've got a team of people below us. We're going into our biggest year this year, and we've now gone from having two staff members underneath us to 4, and altogether that's like 6 in-house staff members, whether it would be myself, Mike, ladies coach, head coach, assistant coach, welfare officer. We're all under one umbrella, and the thing is, I always say, and myself and Mike, we never sit at the top and just look down. We are in the thick of things. Our hands are dirty, you know.
We work with instead of have people working for us.
So that creates obviously a great environment in terms of the work ethics, and people want to come to work. People want to. I don't even call it work. People want to come to Pick Up Academy. They want to work hard, enjoy themselves, and reap the benefits really. So, you know, I think just the fact that my football influence is major because it's a football academy. However, there's loads of things that we've got to do together. You know, what do I say? Admin? Do I say, I don't know? Just making sure that it runs properly and effectively. Whatever I think about, I have to run it through him. Whatever he thinks about, he has to run it through me. I can't just say, yeah, we're going to do that, and it happens like that. So, even on the football side, you know, I'll run it by him. Again, head coach of the academy, the one that actually does the main coaching. We don't even step on his shoes. When it's game time, we stand back. We've employed him as the head coach. We want him to have that responsibility. He coaches them on the training field. So even when we go into the games, he should be allowed to run the game as well. Yes, we might throw in a few suggestions because that's how we work as a team. However, the final decision comes down to him. So, you know, that Mike said, we work together. No one works for us. Yes, our name's director. However, that's how we like to run it.
Lots of different aspects to it.
Financially, I'd say.
Yeah.
You know, anyone watching this, you know, like I said, I always said to Mike, it was a great inspiration. This guy is he might watch this interview one day. I've never really reached out to him to say thank you. You know, but he once said to me, as black people anyway, we don't like to share information. And one person becomes successful in a certain department or field, they would like to be the only person in that field. And if he didn't share the information of how to set up an academy, because we had the boys, and in the end it is a numbers game, and that's why I said, you know, we was lucky to have a core group of boys that was able to get in numbers. He passed on that information to me. If you have those boys, which I can see you've got those boys, I'll link you up with the education provider. You have that conversation with them. Because of what you've got, almost certain they're going to take you on, which they did. We literally wrapped up a contract within 30 days, that quick. And, you know, anyone else watching it that's looking to set up an academy, yes, you may one day be our rivals. However, you know, if you've got the boys, if you've got the girls, you've got those numbers, and you believe you can run this on a day-to-day, and accept that in the first year, you may come across hurdles. So going back to the question, financially, we wasn't set up to do it. Yes, we had everything in place. We had strategic plans, you know, the philosophies, what we wanted from the academy in the first year in terms of success on the pitch and off the pitch. And in going by off the pitch, we actually, out of the 19 boys we had, 18 have passed their first year. Unfortunately, one hasn't, but again, that was because of his attendance, and we always told the boys, you have to be in, because it's imperative that you're taking in on information for your assignments to be able to complete them. And he was one that wasn't it. You know, we championed that. So, you know, it just shows, and we're glad that out of the 18, 19 have passed. So yeah, the hurdle for us was the financial stuff. We wasn't ready for what it took to run it on the football side, I would say. Yeah. Things like making sure we had equipment, but not just equipment for there and then, but when that equipment was worn off or we lost footballs or something like that, knowing that we had to go back and replenish our stock. Referees, you know, food after games, because obviously when you're a home team you have to cater for the, you know, all of these things we weren't prepared for and we didn't read into. So I'd say apart from that, we didn't really suffer on that side of things. And just judgment really of certain things that probably we definitely have erased this year going forward, and we're not going to make those mistakes again.
Yes, definitely. And to carry on from what George was saying, I think the mistake that we made was thinking that we were going to hit the ground running because of the money that was projected to be made. What kept us going was knowing that it was our first year and we were willing to learn. Once we've learned how everything is, now we know how to move and how we can expand the academy to the best of its full potential, basically.
And we're still learning.
Yeah, and we're
going
learning.
to make mistakes this year as well.
Yeah.
Because we've got double the numbers, even nearly triple the numbers.
Yeah.
And, you know, again, this is new. Yes, we've dealt with it 1 year, but that 1 year was with one group of boys. Now we've got another group of boys and girls. That's going to be a challenge in itself.
So it's triple. So, but we'd rather these mistakes on our own to learn and build our business than doing it for someone else. Not to sound arrogant or anything, but, you know, we have to make mistakes in order to progress.
So yeah, and in inaugural, is that how you say it? Inaugural season? Yeah, on the playing field. That means your first year. Man.
Okay, inaugural.
Yeah.
Is that a Greek name? Is that a Greek
word? You mean?
word?
No,
Sorry.
no. You can go back to the Google for that. Yeah, we done really well. We reached the cup semi-final. We also finished second in our league, which was very good in our first year. And we lost the team we lost to experience in the academy game anyway, as you could say.
We had different showcase games. We had trials we had key matches against Crystal Palace, Barnsley,
AFC
Wimbledon.
We had the boy signed
to AFC
Wimbledon from us. He still does his education with us. Maybe he was signed for that last year, so he wasn't even with us probably one day at all, because we had that game beforehand. We started as a little introduction for the boys, like this is what we can produce, because we know in our offer we do say we will provide showcase games, obviously as long as they're behaving well and working hard, and that was a success for us. He wasn't with us, but it was a success for us. And just moving on, certain boys to different clubs, senior football. So you know, it's been a successful season on the player front, and we continue to help boys across the board through the summer. We've got a player that was signed in Sweden as well. He's one of our older players that's been with us for a few years, and we champion, like I said, we champion all of that. We could employ someone else out there who's got the qualifications and whatnot. We've gone for this year to employ one of our ex-players. He's 23 now, but he's come in now as an assistant coach. You know, I think that's a success in itself, that we're able to open doors and offer jobs to even our own players. You know, and for me, that is any business. If any business can do that, it's great. You're there to employ people and give people an opportunity to make money as well. So
and we've also taken kids out of SEAL schools and helped them to pass. We've taken referrals from the council, Lewisham Council, mainly for different young people to have work experience with us, do apprenticeships with us.
So not in education or training. People out of school.
So there's different aspects to the success, but it's success all around. All in all and all around.
For me, and I'm going to be humble about this.
Be as extravagant as you can.
I'm gonna be humble, but also something that will make me happy. And I'm using the word happy because, you know, I read somewhere, in the
It's all
Bible.
about happiness. Happiness is more important.
Yeah.
Finances.
I read somewhere in the Bible about being proud. About being proud is not
Good.
It's not good to be proud. It's kind of like boasting and stuff. And then I think a lot of people, when something happens, obviously when you have a child, I'm so proud of you. That's fine. But being happy and content is the most important thing. And for me, the ultimate success is any of our kids passing on, whether it be word of mouth via social media or anything like that. That is a great place to go to. That's ultimate success for me. Those people there, George, Mike, Sean, Hafed, Carlos, Alan EK, those people there are great people. Not only have they helped me on my football, but, life skills in itself, money management, goals, career goals, my next steps, confidence, self-esteem, all of that stuff. That is ultimate success for me. Yes, you'd love to say that you've produced a footballer that's going to play for a Premier League club, champion in the Champions League, international honours. We're on the verge of having a boy sign at a League One professional club. We're just going through the formalities and stuff like that. I won't mention anything because hopefully we'll be able to present him within the next couple of days. A young 19-year-old boy that was released by a football club, just released, nothing more. You can go and do this, just released. And, again, that comes back to our name, Pick Up Academy. We go out there to pick up these players, whether it be from football or from deprived areas or from schools that say no to them or they go into a centre. Just going back on that, I'll wrap it up quickly. We had 5 boys, and out of those 5, 4 passed that have come out of a centre. For the past 2 years, they've never been in a normal classroom with 20 other students or 15, 18 other students. They've been in a classroom with 5, 6 boys because they were classed as too dangerous or, destructive in class. So, those are the things that we are super proud of. I just said proud. Super happy about. And chuffed, yeah. So that will be ultimate success. Those kids, past and present, saying good things about us.
Yeah, my ultimate success is similar to George's. It's more success within people. The financial part is gonna come either way. I'm not that type of person to just find out how I can squeeze money out of everything. It's legacy that matters. And what legacy would live on beyond me, and what opportunities I can provide for people that I might not even know. Because of what I've done today.
Very good answer.
So, thank you.
Me, mate.
Thank you, George. Thank you. My English is. But anyway, yeah, that's basically what it is. So I can't put an exact goal.
Have a stamp.
Yeah, I can't put a stamp on it like I want to achieve this. One of my aims is to take PUA all over the world, because there's opportunities that can be provided all over the world. Another of my aspirations is to provide jobs within the UK, so you never know. Or to provide, to get someone from let's say the roughest estate and let him become a professional footballer and maybe provide opportunities for whoever was around him at that time. So, to each his own. You never know, but the main thing is through people. So legacy.
You might look at it as even like the boys and girls that we're preparing now after us in terms of generation. And you got to start thinking, for example, we've both got young children, 2 and 3. Those people that we're preparing are probably going to be the teachers for our kids. So we want to make sure they're learning from a greater source.
Yeah.
Because information we may pass on to these kids that we have under Pick Up Academy, they're going to take it on board and be better than us. And as you say, when you have kids, you always want your kid to do better than you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure most parents, 99%, I'd even say 100%, the parents would always want that, whether they can provide it or not. always going to want it. So that's another way of looking at it. The way Michael said things. So yeah.
And the only way to do that is to be better now. It's to do better now.
Yeah.
Provide better, and then whoever's ahead of us would provide better for whoever. So just be the good you want to see in the world.
It sounds cliche, and yes, it does. And we know you can't save everyone in the world, but if you can do your bit in your jurisdiction, then you're good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Keep pushing, keep learning. If you don't learn, then you always make the same mistakes over and over. But have faith, all in all, and things should work out for you.
I'll just say, get happy first, because I don't think you can.
It's true though. Get happy first.
You can crack on without just being happy first, because
Content with yourself.
exactly, and that brings peace. Peace for me allows you to open up your mind and then start, the process of building. And it cannot be forced upon you. Even if you could have someone that says, "Look, we've got this for you. It's going to work out. If you follow these steps, it's going to work out." But if you're not happy, you won't get up in the morning to follow those steps.
You don't even look at it.